Rising living costs have made starting a family an uphill battle. What we're going to talk about today is why young adults can't afford to have kids in 2023. And I'm going to talk to you millennials, so please get involved in this and definitely give comments and tell me what other videos you want me to do. Because of inflation, what's happened in the last 2 years, because money is shrinking in savings accounts and climbing in credit card debt, you millennials are real smart. You're not rushing to have children, but let's talk about what that looks like and how to begin to start your family. The U.S. birth rate is at its lowest in 32 years. Job security, today's political climate, and a negative view on America's future are contributing to the decline. Kids, very expensive, so people are waiting longer to have them. The expense of children is expounded as the cost of living continues to rise. So listen, if you have a kid today, you could assume by the time they're 30 years old, it's going to cost you north of $1 million per kid. And that includes raising them, school, everything you can think of, the lost opportunity cost that you're not going to earn on the money of the child. There's ways to play within that space, which we will talk about further one-on-one. But just remember, the expense of a child is approximately, for the first 30 years, about $1 million, if not a little bit more than $1 million a year. So keep in mind in your overall planning process, and I think the millennials are trying to do that, when it comes to proper planning, diversifying within and amongst asset classes, kids are an expense, and there's a massive lost opportunity cost with that expense. So too expensive. Men and women ages 20 to 45 were polled. 64% said childcare is too expensive. So you think about a husband and wife both working, that childcare is like $2,000-$3,000 a month. 44% said they can't afford to have more children. 43% said they waited to have kids because of financial instability. But remember, you got to be careful if you go out on that Friday night and you're feeling a little bit good after one or two glasses of wine. You might have a kid a little bit too soon. Just kidding. But here it is, folks. This is all according to Business Insider. Let's not forget that these millennials are coming out of college. Some of them have $200,000, $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 in debt. And back in the 80s, when you took student loans, there was a job to go to that would pay that student loan. That doesn't exist today. So in fairness to the millennial, they are thinking beyond what they owe, and they want to make sure that they're in the right position. They're not looking for the $10,000 or $15,000 house. But they also want to make sure if they're going to have more children or have any children, they're in a good spot to do so. And if you understand the economy, and if there's less people in the workforce, at some point with us kicking the can down the road, $33 trillion deficit, America's credit card, that becomes risky as well. Okay, how much is it to raise a kid? We talked about from age 0 to 30, it's about $1 million. But let me give you what Business Insider says from day 1 till age 18, which is about $230,000. Now remember, they're not including college. They're not including other costs that come with that $230,000. And then we know there's a lot of Nikes out there, no-income, college-educated kids that live in the basement. That's why we targeted to age 30. So basically, the percentage of respondents, about 2,500 American parents, said their finances played a role in becoming a parent, has increased by 40% since 1970. Having kids can cause family spending patterns and investment patterns to shift, according to the report. You better do a checkup for the neck up. Understand the cost of living. Understand the cost of a Nike. I don't mean the sneaker. I'm talking about a no-income, college-educated kid that lives in the basement after 4 years of either student loans or you footing the bill for 4 years, and then the lost opportunity cost, including what that would earn up to age 30. This is a real and clear present danger and a pandemic. That is the alarm bell right now coming to save your money from exactly what we're talking about. With birth rates at an all-time low, problems will arise. Gen X, and please, millennials, listen carefully. It will likely result in an economic collapse due to a lack of workers to keep the economy rolling. The sirens are coming. If you're a Gen Xer like me, and all of a sudden the millennial has 1 or 2 kids, now what's going to happen is when I'm in Social Security in my 70s or 80s, there's not enough kids to pay for Social Security. You have to understand what's at play with the $33 trillion credit card that America has. Let's call it the debt and deficit. What's at play when it comes to your money, time, freedom, and why it's important to harness your own money, create your own strategies, and put yourself in a position to prosper where you're not depending on Social Security or other things to bail you out. Okay, so what's the solution, folks? Let's talk about what financial freedom looks like. Here's 3 quick points. The biggest cause of the low birth rate is financial instability. Let's call it a wealth wound. Let's call it not understanding money time freedom. The second thing is achieving financial freedom means you have enough resources to cover your basic needs, emergencies, and future goals. What does that mean? Okay, you want to have at least one earner in the house, 6 months of fixed expenses. If there's 2 earners, you want 3 months. And last but not least, this reduces the financial stress and provides a peace of mind, allowing you to focus on other aspects of life without constant worries about money. So here it is. If you could be in a financially abundant mindset, what that means, you'll be more creative. You're not going to worry about running out of money by the 10th, 20th, or 25th of each month, and you're in a position to prosper mentally because now all of a sudden, you're not trying to keep up with the Joneses. You're not trying to chase a credit card interest rate. You're actually still saving money, but you're liquid enough to give yourself permission to go on vacation, to do things you enjoy, and at the same time, have protection with an emergency fund. And what does that look like while you're sleeping? It comes down to multiple streams of income. By diversifying your income streams, you're spreading out your own risk. Do you own businesses that you're not involved in? Do you own rental real estate? Do you have an online business? Do you have a side hustle? If one stream of income dries up, you've got others to fall back on. If you play your cards right, those other streams of income could even grow and become your primary source of income. Back in 2000, 2001, and 2002, when I worked on Wall Street, my clients bought a lot of internet stocks, and so did I. When internet stocks went down, my clients' accounts went down, but so did my investments, because I had one stream of income and I wasn't diversifying within amongst asset classes. The point is, if you're into real estate and just real estate, make sure you're putting your money that you're earning from real estate into other buckets, because as Ray Dalio says it, at some point in a asset class's career, or however long it lasts, there's going to be a massive pullback, anywhere between 50 and 75%. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Diversifying gives you the stability needed to make choices that you want to be able to make and put yourself in a position to prosper. So for the folks out there, check it out. If you're going to overfund a cash value life insurance plan, I'm not saying to stop the 401k, maybe go up to the match. I'm not saying don't put money in other investments, but if you inject a cash value, high dividend paying whole life insurance into the financial matrix, the financial mosaic, you'll be able to take that extra money, especially if you're overfunding it, and leverage it into other investment opportunities that will give you the multiple streams of income from multiple asset classes. Go ahead, click the link below. No obligation. One of the team members here at Epic will sit down with you, go over anything that you want to review. They'll answer any questions that you have. And if you want them to put a plan together, they'll do that for you. I want to thank you for checking out the channel. Continue to follow and share, and don't forget to subscribe.